Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Boat Design, and today, what a surprise, I'm out in the factory. I just came back from Newport, and I got a little bit of an education, and I want to give you guys an education when I get done here. You just hang in there. The Bud Light bottle that I was using to make the BIOS 5, the thick one that had the pop cap, they were phasing that out. And the camera's not quite adjusted right. They seemed to be phasing that out, and I was having a real hard time getting them. In fact, there weren't any. They went to the twist top, the lot lighter bottle twist top. So, knowing that I eventually was going to run out of them, and I eventually did, I went from the BIOS 5 to the BIOS 6 and changed the process. Went to the pressurized stove with a thumb screw and a pot stand, which I think is a better stove, but more complicated. So, today I went to buy a bunch of the twist-off cap ones, because I'm virtually out. Turns out that Anheuser-Busch is, you got it, phasing out the twist caps and going back to the original heavy bottle with pry-off cap. At least here in Maine, where I went. In fact, the ones with the twist-off cap, Walmart wasn't carrying them at all. All they had was a pry-off cap, the heavy ones. So anyway, I bought what I could, and I'm good for a while, but not for a long time. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start going, if this continues, if they don't change again, I'm going to go back to the BIOS 5, which is a really good stove. It's really fast and simple. It doesn't have a thumb screw. It doesn't have a pot stand. Just dump the fuel in, prime it, light it, bang. So I'm going to go back to that. And I'll probably start putting that in the 12 centimeter cook kit sometime here in the near future. Okay. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little tired of hearing about BPA. It's starting to wear. It's getting old. It was fun for a while, but it's getting old. So I thought, I have so much information. I thought I would just impart this one little thing that I saw, and then that's it. Then no more BPA videos, unless something really interesting comes up. Okay, here we go, and I promise this is the last one. I can hear you guys going, oh no, not again. Okay, here we go, last time. The federal government did a big study with a lot of people over a fair amount of time to determine whether BPA was harmful to human beings. Now, they took a group of people for a set amount of time and fed them all kinds of stuff with BPA in it. Canned foods, that's right, canned foods have BPA in them. The cans have the epoxy liner with a BPA hardener in it. They put the food in it, put the lid on, and I didn't know this, but most of it, they cook it once it's in the can. And they don't just bring it to a simmer. They take it all the way up, as I've been told, to 250 degrees for a fair amount of time to kill the botuline, whatever it is, which is present in all dirt. Completely sterilize it. So that food inside of that can with that BPA liner in it is brought up to 250 degrees, cooked, then left right in the BPA juice to soak for, I've opened cans that were 2 years old and eaten them. So if it didn't soak up all the BPA in that environment, the chances of you getting any in 2 cups of water and a QMH that's in there for 10 minutes is pretty slim. And a lot of people eat canned foods. It's the same way with water bottles and baby bottles and anything like that. It's just anything plastic. It's there. Okay. Now, they fed people, getting back, got off course here for a minute. I'm back now. Okay, they fed these people canned foods, bottled water, probably canned beer, whatever. All kinds of BPA-related items. That's all they when they get done, this is the federal government, so you can believe them or not believe them. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, but anyway, when they got done, they made the statement that testing the people's blood, they could not determine that there was any BPA in their bloodstream with the tools they had available to measure it at the levels they were able to measure. And they didn't know of any instrument they could get a hold of to make a measurement where they could find the BPA in their blood. In other words, it was a complete and total non-event. And the bill they had to ban BPA crashed and burned. Done. Okay, that's one side. Now, as Paul Harvey would say, now let's hear the rest of the story. Supposedly, no documentation. Another group who's anti-BPA, what a surprise, took like one person and fed them BPA type stuff for a day and then tested their blood and found out that the BPA level in their bloodstream was 1,200% higher than before they ate all this stuff. Now, the first thing you think is, when I originally saw this, I went, wow. And that's one of the reasons why I quit selling beer can pots. It's like, wow, that's a lot. Okay, now let's just back up and interject some logic into this. I had a doctor tell me this, so I'm fairly confident it's correct. When you do a test for somebody's blood level of anything, you have to have, if you're doing it over a certain period of time, you have to have the level before they start the test and then the level after the test. And the difference between, if this was 1 and this is 12, then that's 1,200%. If this is 1 and this is 2, it's 100%. But anyway, this study, the 1,200% jump, which sounds huge, they didn't give the starting BPA level. So if the person had no BPA in their bloodstream at all, undetectable when they started, and when they got done, they had 1,200% more, 12 times more. What's 1,200% of 0? I think it's nothing. So without giving the two numbers, that test is at very best a mathematical riddle that has no credence whatsoever. Come on. It's like me saying, okay, John, I want to buy a car. Do you have enough money to make the down payment? And I say, in my left pocket, I don't have quite enough to make the down payment. But in my right pocket, I have 1,200% more. So you think, well, if he didn't have quite enough in his left pocket, but he's got 1,200% more in his right pocket, we're in. We make the down payment, no problem. Can't have money left over for pizza and gas to go to California. Okay, what we left out was, he said he didn't have enough in his left pocket to quite make the payment. He only had 1 penny in his left pocket. And he was right, that's not quite enough. Maybe a little deceitful, but it's not enough. He said he didn't have enough, quite enough, and he didn't have quite enough. So that means in his right pocket he had 12 cents. See how math is? You can take it and crank it all around and make it look just completely wacko. You want to really whack yourself out with math? Take a chessboard or a checkerboard, and on every square on it, on the first square put a penny. On the second square put 2 pennies. On the third square put 4 pennies. On the fourth square put 8 pennies. First one is 1, second one's 2, next one's 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, then 64, then 128, then 256 and do it that way. Just do that sometime. You don't have to actually take the money. Just do it on a piece of paper. I don't even know how many squares there are in a checkerboard, but just do it. And see how much you come to when you get to the last square. Math. You can crank stuff all out of shape and make yourself prove anything wrong or right using math, and that's one of them. Just because they didn't tell you what it was at the beginning, you don't know what it was at the end. And 1200% it's just a number that's hooked to nothing. Rhubarb. Yep, rhubarb. So, I just thought I'd throw that at you so you could see just how stupid this whole thing is. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Try to have a really great day. Try to have some fun today. You deserve it. Bye-bye.